So Trulieve stock, as we can see here, is up 27% only this week. Okay, it went up 16% yesterday on Thursday, and today on Friday it went up more 17.5%. And the question is, why is this happening, right? Well, it's simple. As you can see here, Trulieve just announced its uplisting to the New York Stock Exchange. It is expected to start trading there on June the 10th under the ticker TRLV. So yeah, great news for Trulieve. Now, why is this so important for Trulieve investors? Because this uplisting will probably bring much more liquidity to Trulieve stock and much more demand for it as well, which could hugely impact Trulieve stock price. You see, up until now, if you wanted to buy Trulieve shares, your options were pretty limited. You could buy them on the Canadian Stock Exchange, where Trulieve is listed, or on the OTC, and the other way to get exposure to Trulieve was through ETFs, which is what most people usually do. So yeah, up until today, not many people were able to actually buy Trulieve stock directly. The uplisting, however, will change that, and buying this stock will become much easier. So that's why I believe many more new investors will come in. And well, as I've mentioned, I think this could put a lot of upwards pressure on Trulieve stock price. I mean, it makes sense, right? If more people are competing to buy the same asset, well, then, all else being equal, well, the price should go up. So yeah, I think Trulieve's New York Stock Exchange uplisting will be great. And you see, this uplisting doesn't just open new doors for retail investors. No, this New York Stock Exchange uplisting should also bring more institutional money too. More hedge funds, for example. Because it's not easy for a hedge fund to buy stocks listed on the OTC. Sometimes for regulatory reasons, for example, the fund's policies might not allow low liquidity financial assets, but many times buying such stocks, OTC stocks, microcap stocks, is simply too risky for the asset manager himself, for the person who is managing the money. Because one thing is to lose money in Google, while everybody is losing money too. That's one thing. However, another completely different thing is to lose money alone on a stock listed on the OTC that nobody knows and that belongs to a hated sector. That's a totally different thing. If a hedge fund manager loses money this way, then man, his job might be on the line. However, if Trulieve uplists to the New York Stock Exchange, well then, everything changes, right? Then suddenly, Trulieve will not be a risky OTC bet anymore. Instead, it will be a respectable New York Stock Exchange listed company. Much better, right? Much better. And you see, that might actually sound funny, but it's true. And that's how this uplisting will end up making it much easier for institutional money to come in, for hedge funds to join the party. And analysts as well will also be much more incentivized to write reports on this company. So yeah, I think this New York Stock Exchange uplisting will be very positive for Trulieve stock price and for existing investors. So, great news, right? Anyway, that's everything I wanted to cover today, and see you next time.